So hi everyone, it's your boy here, Wayne, AI engineer, founder, CEO. So recently I got to be a main speaker at a webinar, and the webinar was Ishara's webinar on AI for junior developers and beginners interesting to get into AI. So this video clip is going to be slightly different. It's just going to be a recording of that session, of my 40-minute session, but it's going to be split into two. So the first session will be heavily about explaining AI and the trends, explaining the landscape, the trends of AI, and what the future of AI looks like. And that will be the first part. And the second part, particularly, is going to be about explaining the career opportunities available and the actual roadmap of implementation to get started at this career opportunities that I'm going to be listing in that space. So I hope you stick along for it. Watch video one, watch video two. I hope it's really helpful for you guys and can't wait. Yeah.
So meet our speaker for today for this webinar. His name is Wayne Egesa Otema, and he is an accomplished AI engineer, an educator, and an entrepreneur with a strong commitment to leveraging AI to drive impactful change. He is the founder of Ishara, and he's the lead AI ML engineer at Ishara as well. He spearheads the development of cutting-edge AI solutions designed to simplify healthcare communication for the deaf community, as we have gone into detail about that. So through Ishara, he's also committed to teaching and empowering businesses, developers, and ordinary people with the knowledge and expertise they need to leverage AI. Wayne has a proven track record in developing innovative AI models, including generative AI, natural language processing, machine learning, and both technical and non-technical AI training. He has a background in working with AI companies such as AICE. If you know that company, it deals with AI basically. It's one of Kenya's best AI solutions development companies, as well as a speaker in many events that deal with AI. And so today it is an honor to have him as one of our speakers, and we hope that the content that he will pass to you guys will be able to help you as a tech enthusiast, as a junior developer, and also as a beginner in AI. So welcome, Wayne.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for that introduction, one. Very amazing. Hadi Kidogo was wondering if that was actually me. Like, hey, see, that guy has done a lot. But thank you so much for that. Give me a second. Let me just share my screen, then can kick off. Yes, so I hope you can see my screen. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining and making time for this. So as stated, I'm Wayne Egesa, CEO and founder of Ishara, and I have done a lot in AI. So let me just give myself a brief background, give guys a brief background of what I do and what I have done so far. So I've been dealing with AI for around 3 years straight now. I've been developing for more than 3 years, but dealing straight with AI for 3 years. And over the last year, slightly over a year and a few months about that, I've been dealing with AI on a corporate level. So dealing with AI for people, for companies, and on other levels, aside from also building the solutions with my team, Ishara. So through all that experiences, I have learned a lot. I have picked up so much information, how to lead an AI company, how to work with people, how to build solutions that people want, where is the market depending with in regards to AI? Where is the future going with AI? So I've gotten a feel of where the market is, and most particularly where the African market is and the Kenyan market, because I think that's where the the information is. Because if you do watch most of these YouTube videos regarding AI, it kind of paints a picture about the West and misses out, particularly in where we are at home. Yes, we want to go international, but we kind of have to start where we are. So over the year, a little over a year, I had a chance to interact mainly with these people, big people, and all these activities, and it has been an amazing experience. And through that, yes, we are also founded a company, and we've been doing all this, including developing for other applications, developing for other companies and all the other people. So, but for today particularly, we realize that we as Ishara have AI expertise and we have AI capabilities, and indeed we can deliver because we do see what we are doing, and vis-a-vis what we do see what we are doing and what we actually give in the clients who come to us and want AI solutions. Um, I have worked with multiple people, though in these agreements I can't share them publicly, but we have worked with multiple people and delivered solutions successfully. So we are in a place to actually advise on this, but we were not. So we decided, how about we just start teaching and talking about AI to people who are willing to listen. And we started off with a junior developer and beginners webinar. And thank you guys for joining. Over 55 people in the call, so that's like way too much. So thank you for that. And yeah, so I think let's begin. So just one moment, let me change my screen to actual screen. Just one moment. Okay, cool. So I hope in case there's any complications, please tell me, or just unmute no one and inform me, because I might be too focused on what I'm showing. So now let us begin. Think of it like a story. So move with me. So we are really living in great times. Like, there is no better time to be alive right now. I'm pretty sure you guys have felt the world has changed. Like, you guys have probably felt like something is different. It's not the same how we grew up. It's not the same because now it's not. We don't have the same thoughts. Things are changing very much. Especially if you're a developer or you have been dealing with applications a lot. The applications you're using now are changing. The applications you're expected to be developing are changing, and even how people are going to work in the future is very much changed. So, and this uncertainty is due to AI, and it's interesting, and yet it's uncertain, but yet it's interesting. And all this is due to AI, and that's why what we want to do here. We want to explore these possibilities that AI is bringing to the table, and what it's doing to our world, and see how we can navigate all of this in this webinar. And I hope I get to answer some of the questions you're posing, or some of the concerns can be clarified in this presentation. So what will we be covering? So we'll be covering what, why, and where with AI, opportunities in AI, areas of specialization, building your AI career, and presenters' insights. So basically, my insights that I would give, and I will advise if I was to start learning AI all over again, kind of what would I do, or what would I tell someone who wants to learn AI faster, in a much faster rate than I learned AI in, and how that they might do that. And we're going to be taking two kind of approaches in this. So we're going to take a micro analysis, basically a high level overview of the AI landscape, try to get a big picture understanding of everything that is happening. And then we also try to get a macro analysis. So basically, these are the small, doable things that people can do to get around in the space in AI. So it's important to create that high level understanding of what everything is and where it's going, and that uh, and also contrast it to that low level actionable things, because you can't take action against a whole country like Kenya, but maybe you can take action and I tell you go to Nairobi. That's very simple and doable. So let us begin. So we start wide. So we start with the basics, and this probably everyone here in the call might have a vague understanding of what this is. So what is AI? And in simple ways, there are very many ideas and connotations towards it, but I can paint it in a very simple and interesting way, which is it's humanity's best attempt to create something that is very similar to the human cognitive abilities. That basically is what AI is. Systems that are very close to how human beings behave and think. But now the actual boost on it is that they operate with the speed and the scale of computers. That is what makes AI special. It's kind of like they have human capabilities or human logic, human cognitive capabilities, but with the speed of a computer. So if it took me 3 hours to write an essay, it will probably take a computer 0.5 seconds to write an essay. But probably something another human can do. If it takes me 2 hours to wash dishes, it'll probably take the same AI less than 5 minutes to do the same thing. But it's very much a human capability and cognitive abilities that a human does. And in another way, you can think about it, you're teaching AIs how to be great at learning from large examples and trying to get rid of traditional software. So I'll kind of get into this ideas in the following slides, but we're trying to come up with a new way of writing code, especially for the developers in the room. We're trying to come up with a new way of writing code, or not writing code per se, of thinking about the applications you're going to develop. And yes, so yes, so we're trying to come up with that systems. So in a way, let's get into the areas where we interact with AI, us as normal people, simple, basic areas that we all know. So we all know recommender systems. So these are basic things like your YouTube algorithm, also the algorithm, Facebook face recognition systems, ChatGPT and LLM. So at this point, I can comfortably say everyone has interacted with AI, at least at some level. So I'm very confident that the we don't have to go so much into the examples of where people engage with AI so much because most people have probably seen this at some point. One use case that I kind of think I'm super proud of is the recommender systems for Safaricom. I very much find it interesting how when we dial, it kind of has tracked different people and understands the offers I'll give to Wayne is not the same offer I can give to another person because maybe Wayne has met certain criteria or is failing in others, and this person is doing differently in this other, so they fit to get this particular bundle offer than this other particular bundle offer. I know it's a simple thing, it's a very simple explaining it seems simple, but the implementation of it and at a very large scale is fairly technical. And I very much always find it really amazing that a company like Safaricom was able to pull it off and make it work really well. Yeah. So, and the other thing is the areas that AI will have great impact. So these are areas where AI hasn't really gotten fully in, but as the time goes, as the years progress and evolve, I have foreseen and I have interacted with various people and various sectors to know that these are areas where AI can get, if AI does get in, they'll have great impact. So in these spaces, consider augmenting yourself with AI or learning AI skills or learning how to integrate AI into those spaces or learning coding with AI in those spaces. So one is the healthcare spaces, and one of those already the applications we see at the moment is detecting skin detecting diseases from imagery or detecting the prediction of a pandemic or the spread of a pandemic or a disease against a population. So this was something that probably existed, okay, not probably has existed, but over time, as AI is improving, their algorithms are also improving. So we are looking at a case where imagine you can go to a hospital and an AI can accurately predict the disease you have with 99% accuracy way ahead of time. So a good example of this is just if you probably follow this, it's a part that I'm very much interested in. So that's I keep tabs on that. Imagine going to hospital and then AI predicting cancer for you 10 years ahead before it's even detectable. So it kind of tells you, and if you can work on it now, it's better than having to wait 10 years and then the doctors cannot tell you, okay, now we see the cancer, now start working on it. So that creates a whole other problem. But if you can detect diseases way early, the impact of AI would be very grateful on that side. So very great on that area. The next area is education. And in education, I can say, now imagine everyone here probably knows how to use a calculator. Everyone here knows how to use a dictionary. And everyone was probably forced to carry a dictionary at some point in their educational life. So imagine in the future, every child will have a AI agent or an AI program that they will use as a study assistant. So it will kind of be like a calculator. As much as you had a calculator and a dictionary, now they'll also have another tool, which is an AI agent, kind of like ChatGPT vibes, that can answer any question that they want. So think of it like their encyclopedia. They always want an encyclopedia of the whole world in their pockets, helping them learn. And you can already see like the capabilities of that student, should they be serious and leverage that technology, is very different because now you don't need to go out and start buying books or going out and start doing crazy things. Everything you want is in the same. Um, Everything you truly need is in that one simple AI application that fits in your phone. And there's also areas such as agriculture, where in this case it's something like precision farming, and I'll advise anyone to go look into it. That's where you kind of treat a plant based off what it particularly requires using sensors and IoTs. And in business, we have business processes, automations, and optimization, sorry, where we optimize business processes to give us better yields. Robotics, these are areas like self-driving cars, humanoids, things that move, machinery that move around the human world, behaving in a human way. And then personal assistants and AI agents. So these are areas that if AI is integrated really well, and people are working tirelessly to integrate it, if you do get this right, this vector right, the rewards are going to be beyond what we imagine even right now. We think Safaricom is a big company. You get AI right in healthcare, you're probably going to make something way bigger than Safaricom. Get AI right in education, get AI right in any of these verticals, you're going to be part of something probably unimaginable, and things that we have not yet been able to imagine, because it's hard to imagine something that is unclear, but we do know if it happens right, the value created and the money created and the opportunities and the impact will be way, way great. Yes. So we're still in the big picture. So let's kind of see how the software applications have been changing. So we kind of had version 1 of software, version 2 of software. Now we're currently at version 2, and there's version 3 of software that includes AI applications. So let me give you a breakdown, and this is mainly for our developer friends who are in the room, just to kind of give you like how AI has, not AI, sorry, how programs have evolved over the years. So the first versions of software was, not software, first versions of applications were version 1 applications, which are very much hardware programming applications. So these are things that uses gears and circuits and predefined logic that were engraved in the machinery in it of itself. So a good example of this is an analog clock. Like you just, to turn it, you have to turn a gear, and if it works, it just, it's a ticking thing, just continues and continues. But you can't reprogram it. There's not so much you can work with it, but if it works, it does its job well. And then we entered into version 2 of application development, where now this is the current program where most of us are used to, or we have been taught in campuses and in school. So this is basic traditional programming, where we do predefined logic, where your logic and your data is different. You store your data in, you store your logic in a code application. Everything runs on a CPU, so it's sequential and all that stuff. So basically, that's basically the most of the software we interact with now. Good example is most of the softwares on your phone. Those are probably version 2 applications. And then the version 3 applications, and that's where we're going, and probably so why some of the developers interested in getting into AI should have a feel of this. So these are applications that, these are basically AI enabled applications. And as written in the slides, that they are intelligent programs. Their logic is not developed by human beings, basically, and we'll get into this in a few minutes. Their logic is developed by the machine itself. The code and the data is not different anymore, and they run on a GPU. And as people probably have, or some have probably learned or alluded to, GPUs, machines that come with GPUs are fairly expensive than machines that only run with CPUs. And yeah, so that's the kind of software we're moving into with this whole AI application, because AI runs on GPUs, and those examples of those applications are the GPTs, the Tesla models, Ishara model itself, the Ishara application itself runs on GPUs. So these are applications that, this is the new kind of applications that as developers and as beginners getting into AI, we should be trying to envision and develop, no longer the same version 2 applications. Not that they're bad, it's more that we have moved from that era into the next era. And just to show how the system, how the evolution has worked, it is when the hardware, the hardware, the hardware at version 1 was improved greatly, and it's enabled for people to get into version 2. And the hardware and the software of version 2 was improved so greatly, it's enabled people to get to version 3. And at version 3, the goal there is to keep improving the stack as well as possible, so that we can get to version 4. We don't know what version 4 is, but we kind of have to keep doing our best here. So we can't keep being stuck at version 2. Yes. So I want to give you an analogy of what AI is, or how AI learns. So version 2 software is like, imagine having a cook, and then you give this cook the ingredients of making ugali and kuku. Now, for the people who are not Kenyans, kuku is chicken, so ugali and chicken. So ugali is cooked flour, cooked maize flour. I think most people probably understand that. So ugali is cooked maize flour, and version 2 software is you give this chef all the ingredients they need. You give them the maize flour, you give them water, you give them a microwave, you give them everything. And then you give them a recipe book and tell them, follow this recipe book and give me the final product. And even if this person doesn't know, has never cooked ugali and rice before, or ugali and chicken before, if they follow that recipe book, they will come at the other side with a finished product. So that was version 2 applications. That was kind of the applications we were used to developing, but it's not the kind of applications we are moving into developing. That's the AI applications. The AI application is slightly different. How AI application works, it's kind of like you take the ingredients and then you show a picture to the chef and tell them, this is what I want. What I want looks like this. And then you tell the chef, figure it out, and then you walk away. And then the chef has to figure out something, keep trying and failing, until eventually he gives you exactly the same thing that he saw in the picture. And then by default, the chef now knows how to cook ugali and chicken. So as you can see in this, in the second version of software and application, it's more like the solutions and the development of this thing is not, the humans don't need to be involved in the process. They just have to give the chef, in this case, who is our algorithm and the application, all the things that it needs and show it the final result that they want. And then tell it, now figure out between what I give you and what I want, figure out the path in between to get me to the final place. And then eventually, if it can figure out that place, the idea there is you can always come back to the chef and tell them, okay, you know how to make ugali and kuku, no, ugali and chicken. So probably this time make for me brown ugali and chicken. The procedure is not that far off from white ugali and brown ugali. The procedure is not that far off. Probably things might differ, but it's not that far off. So the chef can figure it out. This is different from version 2 applications where if I give it something it had never, that do not exist on the recipe book, it will fail to work. And what are the key takeaways in this actually? So just to get into it. So the key takeaways in this is an AI system for AI developers. It is to AI system develop their own logic by learning from the pattern. That's the main takeaway. And AI is about teaching machines to recognize, to generalize from data, not following hard-coded rules. That's where the industry is heading into. Not to hard code and give a machine all the rules it should follow. You just tell it, this is where we start, this is what I want, figure out a way in the middle, whatever it does to get to the final result. And that's the system that's the kind of application we hope to be developing. And a quick overview to why AI is transformative. So this is probably very simple, but for some developers in the room, they might understand this, but for those who don't know, this is why AI is it's kind of taking things by storm. AI works with pattern recognition, so it doesn't really follow any law, it just understands the patterns. And we as human beings also follow we kind of look for patterns in nature, and then what's the word there? We kind of push the patterns or we leverage the patterns for our own benefit. So the same with AI, if it kind of understands this face kind of looks like a guesser, it will kind of know, okay, if I see a guesser, probably I should do this, or maybe a guesser is a fraudster. I probably should be sounding an alarm and stuff like that. And another thing that pushes AI really is generalization, which in this case means the ability of AI, if once it learns one thing, the ability of it to by default extend its learning from that thing into another area or field of understanding. A good example here is if every single time you learned one language, you had to forget that language to learn a new language, that's very problematic for us as human beings. So human beings are good at generalizing. In this case, you mean the procedure, if you're able to learn English, okay, for the people who have learned a new language when they have grown up, so maybe German example. If you learn Germany, you'll realize you can easily learn any other language because you have understood the patterns of learning a new language. So you can transfer that skill into a new language. But traditional programming is like, it will only work for that one case. So if you teach a machine for traditional programming, if you teach a machine how to run a particular program or how to do a particular task using traditional programming, it will always do that task. But if you tell it not to do a new different task, it will fail at that job. It's not good at generalizing. And the final thing about AI that is really taking things at a storm is the scale and the speed. It's the scale being it requires a large amounts of data, but we also have large amounts of compute and large amounts of power to give AI to enable it to work, and the speed at which it's being processed to be given out. So what this means to developers is developers should focus more on logic, should shift their focus from less logic to preparing quality data sets, debugging models, and integrating models into their code. And what that basically means is for us as developers, we are not going to, or people who are looking to get into code, at least from this AI perspective, the goal is not to worry about writing the logic line by line by line by line by line. No, the game is to worry about where is the data coming from? Is that high quality data? And how do I double check to test that my model is actually running okay all the time so that it doesn't fail when I give it data that it has not seen? And then the other step is how do I integrate new models into my application? So maybe I'm developing a simple RAG application. No, sorry, a simple CRUD application, create, read, update, delete. Many developers might understand that language. How can I add AI into that simple application to make it work faster? So very simple stuff. So those are things that we as developers have to start thinking and have to start utilizing. For basic AI users, basically this means most of the applications you're going to work with going in the forward are going to be very intuitive applications. These are going to be applications that you kind of feel like they know you too personally, like they're kind of your best friends. They know you really well. They increase your productivity and they help you get work done way faster, be it in any vertical, construction, medicine, poetry. This is unless you are an AI engineer. If you're using these AI tools in your work, it should help you move faster to your end goal. So yeah, that's why AI is really amazing. Categories of AI. So these are kind of rush into. This is general stuff. There is narrow AI, and narrow AI is AI that is fairly narrowed down to be good at one particular task. And this is where we are all at the moment. We don't have an AI that is good at so many tasks. That is wide AI, just written there. So wide AI is okay. Just contrast narrow AI and wide AI. Wide AI handles multiple tasks really well, and good categories under wide AI include artificial general intelligence and super general intelligence. So these are theoretical. Those two things are theoretical. They don't exist yet. We don't have an artificial general intelligence, which that means it is smart as most humans. Okay, let me rephrase that. That AI is smarter than most humans, smarter than 90% of the humans in every single field. So that's an artificial general intelligence, or smart as humans in most fields. But super general intelligence means this AI is smarter than humans in every single thing humans can do. So if you can write a book, that AI can write a book better than you, and the same AI can drive a car better than you, and the same AI can do another thing better than you. But we're not there yet, so don't worry about it. That's still sci-fi stuff. As much as people are hoping to get there, it's still not yet. There's no clear path to get there. But what we do know is narrow AI exists, and narrow AI focuses on using AI on very narrowed down tasks, including so one of the good examples that we have seen now is large language models, and this includes things like ChatGPT. So basically, what ChatGPT is good at is generating text. No matter how much it will convince you that it's good at writing songs, the only thing it's doing is just good at generating text. It's not good at anything else. So it gives you a false deception that it's kind of wide AI, but it's only good at generating text and predicting the next best thing to tell you given a certain situation. And you can see how that is deceiving, but in very many ways, it's just good at text. You can't take ChatGPT and tell it to drive a car. It will not drive a car. So yes, generative AI. Generative AI. So these are basically AI content that can generate images, text, and voices. Basically, media content. So this includes DAL-E, ChatGPT itself is generative AI, and other stuff. Other models we probably have interacted with. And the last model is qualitative models. This has probably taken a backseat of late because people are really playing with generative AI much. But qualitative models are the models that are used for doing recommendation systems, the models that are used to doing statistical analysis to predict if this person is worth giving out a loan or something like that. So they are the hard models that use hard math and predict and give results that probably are not have heavy business use cases, if I can call it that. So that was where qualitative models are mainly used. So let's debunk AI really quick. Simple debunking things. Will AI take our jobs? Not so much, unless you kind of have not so much. You kind of need to just learn AI skills to kind of make you better. Can AI think like human beings? No. AI is good at pattern recognition. I think we've established this. Pattern recognition means it can identify what is the normal occurrences of things. So ChatGPT is not good at or of understanding your feelings. It just knows the next best thing to tell you so that you think it understands your feelings because it has read so much of how human write depending on such feelings or when they're feeling such feelings. So that's kind of what it's good at. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. It works really well, but it's not thinking really. It's just expressing what it was meant to be expressing. Do you need a PhD to work in AI? No, you don't need a PhD. All you need to have is skills, valuable skills that somebody can actually see like, yes, this thing is working and this person is delivering on their content. And AI is always objective? No, AI is not objective all the time. Sometimes it's actually wrong. And it's advisable that even if you do use AI, double check the content 100 times over. You keep checking it and double checking it against your standard. And if you feel it's wrong, don't be afraid to either correct it or tell it that it's wrong. It should try again and do better. Because you as a human are probably right, and it as an AI might not be that. It doesn't kind of know if it's right or wrong, just trying to do a job. So where to with AI? Now that I've given you a whole backstory, where does the future look like AI? And you kind of see here the future is kind of bright of late. You've seen Elon Musk land rockets, so he's probably there. You're seeing self-driving cars there, and you're seeing so that picture there of the guys, the boys hanging out after going for a swim. That's supposed to depict us as human beings after we leverage AI. So the future of AI is very much agentic. And agentic means these are systems that can act autonomously to achieve a goal set by humans. They don't need us to supervise them. We just tell them go do something, and it goes out and does that thing and returns with the outcome back to us. And once we as humans develop agentic systems, it creates for us so much free time, and that's why we have that picture there of those kids hanging out, swimming, because it will allow us to do what matters to us. And kind of for me, what matters to me is hanging out with my friends. So if you can have AI that can help us create free time and you hang out with your friends or do what matters to us, even through Ishara with enabling the deaf community to interact, the hearing able and the deaf community to interact seamlessly, that would be great. Or by creating agents that I can sit here and tell it I want to travel to Malawi, get me a ticket and get me a hotel, and it just goes and does that and then returns me with an email and tells me here's your ticket, here's your hotel that you'll be going through, this is what time you'll be arriving, and all those details sorted out without me having to worry about it. That's where we're going with AI, and those are kind of the AI systems that we are expected or has the most value going into the future. So, and the number of people who have approached us as a company as Ishara to help them build these things are kind of too many people because we're only 5. We can't build these things for so many people. So we kind of need even you guys as a team of developers who are interested in this to start learning these skills as fast as possible because the market is very ready for it. We have noticed that there is an appetite for these things, especially getting into 2025. People have noticed AI agents are the way to go. So kind of like how every company needs a website, every couple probably very much need an AI agent. So having the skills to develop an AI agent is going to be very crucial in 2025 for any developer or any person looking to get into it. But don't worry about it. Now we're going to show you how to learn these skills and deliver on this future that is very promising and there is a market for it.